I grew up in a very female dominated house. I was raised in a way to be an extremely strong woman. I was raised to be almost not necessarily overcompensating, but definitely understanding that I was at a disadvantage because I was a woman and people weren't going to be able to take me as seriously, and it was going to be a lot more difficult for me to break into something that was male dominated. I was constantly told no one can make you feel anything you don't let them make you feel. Stand up for yourself, stay grounded, be strong, because you are going to have a harder, more difficult time because you're a woman. And so I was like always very confident, always very self-assured, always like if I wanted something, I got it, and it wasn't in like a spoiled way, but like I was raised to make it happen for myself because I grew up in this lens where like, because you're a woman, like you're not going to get any handouts. People are going to be threatened by you because you're a strong, powerful woman. So I thought that I knew what it meant to love myself. And I thought I knew what it meant to love others because I thought I loved myself. And then I think it was my junior year of college, I was in a dance conditioning class and jogging, and my shoes got caught on the floor, and I fell into some bleachers, knocked my teeth out. And I remember looking at the ground, and it was like a freshman class that I had failed twice because I couldn't wake up at 7:30 in the morning and get my butt to class. So this is like the third time I was taking this class, and I was like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to pass it this time. And then I knocked my freaking teeth out. And it was like the first semester of that teacher. So I like grabbed my teeth and I like walked over to her and I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. And she was like freaking out. And I was like, yeah. So then I went to the hospital and I knocked my teeth out, and I came out to my parents as gay after I got a surgery. And that's like a whole nother story. And then I came to this realization that once I didn't have my teeth and I couldn't smile and express joy and happiness without feeling insecure, how much I actually didn't love myself and how much I weighed my self-value and my self-worth on my appearance. And I think there was a lot of pressure. I'm sure like you understand, like being a performer, like a lot of how you get hired and how you get jobs is like looking the way that you look, and like not having that like really threw me for a loop. And it kind of sent me into this, like, I guess you could say like a dark night of the soul, where I just kind of realized how superficial the world is and how superficial I was, thinking that I was so grounded and so enlightened and I knew myself and I knew my value, and I didn't, because I put so much. And it really kind of made me question, like, what do I actually like about myself? What do I actually love about myself that's not based in my appearance and other people validating me on a regular basis? And it was also difficult going through that experience because I was like drugged up most of the time, because the next like year and a half, 2 years of my life was just like going through surgeries and being on pain medicine and all of that stuff. So that just like threw me for a whole nother loop, because I'm kind of like tripping and like experiencing this dark night of the soul while on very heavy pain medicine. Yeah.
What is a dark night of the soul?
So a dark night of the soul is kind of like a spiritual awakening that takes you through some sort of like trauma or grieving process. So it's similar to shadow work. So shadow work is like dealing with the parts of yourself that are negative and then learning to love those parts of yourselves anyway and use them as a point of growth. And a dark night of the soul is that times like 30 million. So it's like all of the things that you've been avoiding dealing with, all of the things that you've been avoiding confronting within yourself that are negative and that you've been denying, just kind of all come up at once. And it's like no longer unavoidable. It's just like thrown into your face, and it kind of puts you into this like deep, dark depression where you're experiencing all of these thoughts and feelings that are very overwhelming because they're parts of yourself that you've denied for so long that are undeniable. So it's just like all of this stuff coming to the surface at one time that kind of leads to big growth and big experience. And some people say that it only happens once in your life. Some people say it happens like a multitude of times. I personally think it can happen a multitude of times, depending on if you didn't do it properly first.
What you are like referring to within the Dark Knight, I think, doesn't it play into, it's like a message. Like we have, like there, I read this article about we all receive these messages, and they're all unique to everyone. Some messages stem out of a lot of, dark history with your past or your family trauma, but they are all like it's unique to everyone because not everyone has that experience. But like they're messages, like what somebody referred to them was messengers to like, and then they all make you essentially question our existence.
Exactly. And that's kind of exactly what it is and what it was. It's like a very like direct, like in your face way of kind of dealing with your stuff that teaches you something. And it's just like a series of lessons. Sometimes it takes like a big event in your life to realize that even if you think you're on the right path and you understand yourself and you understand love and what self-love is and what self-care is, like you are constantly changing and there's always room to grow. And even if you think you love yourself, like take a look at it again, because I thought I did more than anything. And I was one of the most confident people I knew. And turns out I wasn't at all. And like, it definitely made me realize what self-love is for me.
Question to refer back to before this moment of your teeth, what did love mean to you then? And then after that experience, how did, like, what shifted in that to then get you to what love means to you now?
I think self-love to me then was very much being proud of myself and being proud of my body and being proud of the parts of me that I was willing to show to people. And I think that's where a lot of people sit within their self-love is, I am comfortable sharing this part of me and I love these parts of me. So I'm going to neglect and hide the parts that I don't like and pretend that they're not there. And from me losing my teeth and going through this whole process and experiencing having to deal with my self-image being taken away, I realized that love to me is beyond loving the parts of myself that I want to show. I realized through the friendships that I had and the relationship that I was in at the time that love isn't superficial. Love isn't the one-way street of I'm giving this part of myself, so you should love what I show you. You know what I mean? Because love is vulnerability. Love is being transparent and love is being open. And I thought love meant loving what I brought to the table. And I realized that love was showing everything. It was showing I'm on a bunch of pain medicine and I haven't showered in 3 days because I had 3 surgeries and I'm looped out of my mind. And you're going to love me anyway. And you're going to deal with the fact that I'm crying at 4 a.m. because my mouth hurts. And you're going to love me through it. And I'm going to be vulnerable with you. And we're going to be on this process together. Love is being vulnerable and being open and sharing the things that you don't want to share. And people choosing to stand by you anyway. And you choosing to stand by you and be vulnerable in that way anyway, even if it makes you uncomfortable.
I really am sticking to what you just said, the vulnerability. The vulnerability to sit within your imperfection within a group of people, or even looking in the face of someone else and being really open about that, I think allows you then to ask yourself who you like. For me, love is being my most authentic self. I thought it was something that love was another person.
Yeah.
Uh, and it has to begin within me, within this body in which, I last night I was thinking of my toes and my fingers. The space of your toe and your fingers, that blood is like is everything is moving within us.
Right.
And to actually, like, I was so external about my love that I thought it was like something that you were giving, like something consumed almost.
Right.
That you were giving and that you were like consuming and receiving. And yes, that is a part of it, but that it is always manifesting here within me, within my heart, to my heart, to then to ask myself, who am I? Who do I want to be? Um, and then to be truly, to sit within that, to have the vulnerability, to sit within that answer, to then challenge myself in every moment that I am in to be the most authentic version of myself that I can be. And that's scary and it's vulnerable. But at the end of the day, I think if you are being your most authentic self, you find love. And then that is where you can give it out. When you are being your most authentic self, I think that that is the highest pinnacle of the self-love. That you can, like, when you can just like swipe away everything, the clothes that you wear, the place that you live, the friends that you have, the whatever, anything of this physical world, and you are just there. If you can give love to that, that is then that's so powerful. And then the things that you bring in and then the people that you connect with, you can show them that and share within that love. I think it all starts from a place of love.